Comrade Sowore, Comrade Lante Oriente. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Comrade Show.
Yes. Nigerian people, greetings to you all, wherever you are joining us from. This is the Comrade Show. And my name is Comrade Lamte Ikmomusa Oriahi. I'm particularly very glad to welcome you all to this broadcast. And I want to appeal to you very strongly. This is a very important broadcast. We are going to try to use this broadcast to set some records straight as we have it. Very important. Please, if you are there, help share this broadcast because the aim is for this broadcast to reach as many people as possible. Meanwhile, if you are out there and you have the contact or Reverend Father Mbaka and Sowore and the likes, please bring them here. Let them come. It's important we talk about this because, like I've always maintained, we're in a defining moment, and the last nearly 1 week or so is already speaking to this definition. And we're going to be seeing more of what is happening right now. The entire internet space agog at this moment, apparently because of, what has been happening. The big one today is Mbaka laying the course on Peter Obi, even saying that Peter Obi cannot become president of Nigeria, accusing Peter Obi of being stingy. Meanwhile, the last couple of days, Sowore was on the attack, attacking Peter Obi, attacking Labour, trying to discredit Peter Obi, calling him a liar and all of that. In one of my broadcasts in the past, a couple of weeks or so, I did say this is a man, Peter Obi, that particularly this season came into this scene in a very big way. He's become a movement, and he's made so many claims. Nobody has been able to come out. Okay, and he puts it out there saying, "Go and verify." And we've not really seen any credible, source of, you know, accusation or credible source that will say that to discredit Peter Obi, particularly looking at his own strides when he was governor, the giant strides and all of that he alludes to very often and all of that. And so I've always said, look, if there are issues people have that we need to know, let them bring these issues on, and of course we'll look at them. You understand what I'm saying now, and talk about them. So we're going to be looking at Reverend Father Mbaka and of course Sowore. As they come, we will talk about them. You understand what I'm saying now? But I am going to try to present some facts around these things, particularly looking at, the attack of, Reverend Father Mbaka. Honestly, um, I am not surprised as such because personally, I long made up my mind about whom I think Father Mbaka is. I'm going to try as much as possible to be very guided so that I don't speak off the line, and all of that. I long made up my mind. If you watch, if you follow the trajectory of Reverend Father Mbaka, many of us today will not take him seriously, in whatever he says. As a matter of fact, I would actually advise him and equally advise his followers, his own parish, to try to restrain him. He should stay away from politics. He should stay away completely from politics because this man led millions of Nigerians to believing that the present catastrophe in leadership we have today was a God sent, agenda, and all of that. Having failed in some of those prophecies, which today we can prove they were driven by how much will go into his pocket. we can faithfully allege that. Having failed in that, I expect it to be quiet in this season. To be honest, this is the truth. But let's look at how this whole matter began. Please share this broadcast; it's very important. Call Mbaka here. Call Sowore here. I need to talk to these two people, and many more that will come. We will be ready to take them head on as the matter evolves. Let me take our minds back when what's his name? Peter Obi was the running mate of Atiku Abubakar. He visited Father Mbaka during the Bazaar and all of that. I have a video footage I'm going to show to tell you where this matter actually began, and we can start making sense of what is happening right now and all the attack, the utterance of Father Mbaka. Let's take a listen.
Brother, na nwanne nwoke gọvanọ gee ntị ka anyị ghara ịghọrọ Chukwu aghụghọ nọrọ n'ihu ụmụ Chukwu a gwa Chukwu ihe ị ga-emeri ya. Oh yeah, it means you don't want to do anything for God. Ihe a bụ aghụghọ nkịtị.
Father, even for the strength, as the nigga, we are getting project. Come on, I know about the project. Can we go back and
Okay, come to Lord Jokweta. My name is a political statement.
Father, my mother made a political statement. Oh, you have not seen my P2B have never promised things and failed. I'm a fundamental Catholic. Even when I couldn't know, can't me. Father Mbaka.
You can promise a Mary here in Anambra. Praise the Lord. In your capacity and what God has done for you, Governor. Get money, okay, get money, get into here. God hates stinginess. I'm the one I'm a quick auto. I'm a quick egg as again. Otherwise, again, article will fail. Oh, boy, back a paint to go, but on all time back. Guarantee. You can save your political destiny. Oh, 2019, when I'm having election. When I'm what the Kusiga. Praise the living God. Here game one work and then you work at Bazaar. Oh, man, one more. Get on, tell my nako. Chere, Bigo. Get on. You want to go.
Okay, Nigerians, what you saw there, it happened a few years back. I'm sure Peter Obi was a special guest, was invited, for the church bazaar and all of that. And Father Mbaka was definitely trying to, make him pledge, make some donations and all of that, which was, they call it donating to God. That concept of donating to God is something that one day we'll talk about. You understand what I'm saying now? A very deceptive concept in Christendom in Nigeria. That has turned, everything in a way that some of the pastors they kind of try to use to rope everybody in. They say you are donating to God, but it's a concept we'll explain someday. But Peter Obi, being the man who is never cajoled by such, is a man whom I've come to know to be somebody who's very discreet. He said in that video, he said, "I don't promise and fail," and this is a man who does things very quietly. If he wants to, he doesn't make too much noise. I'm going to show some evidence of some of these things I'm talking about right now. That's where it began from. Obi left there. Obi did not make any pledge. He did not make any promise. He did not make any donation. I think at the point in that video, Obi was trying to say, "Man, look, let's talk about this privately." But apparently, Father Mbaka disgraced and embarrassed, Peter Obi on that occasion. I'm sure that shortly after, he was prevailed upon by probably his members, the parish or whatever it is, to apologize, to make open apology, to Peter Obi and all of that, which he did. I'm going to equally show you that apology. We need to, break these things down so that we can get the proper perspective into this. The reason why I'm saying this is that Obi is a movement. Many Nigerians have come to believe in him, and we must believe and trust this man, no matter the tantrums that come from whatever sources. And we are not just blind believers. We have to believe with proof, with evidences, with everything. You understand what I'm saying? Because if Obi is proven to be any of these yao politicians, it therefore means that we are all dished. But if we believe that this man is not whom Father Mbaka is painting him to be, and that his stinginess, that is why he first accused him of being stingy, that his stinginess is for the overall good of most Nigerians, then the person that needs to lose support right now, even from his own members, is Reverend Mbaka. But we will come to that. Let's quickly look at the claims of Reverend Mbaka against Obi right now. We are coming to Sowore. Don't worry. Soware's own is political, but we'll equally address that. Now, let's listen to the apology of Reverend Mbaka when he was asked to apologize.
Some of you may be expecting me to write something and put it online, or join the attacking group or the defensive group. It's not my job. I don't have time to waste. I'm not even a priest of social media. It may surprise you to hear that I don't even have a personal Facebook. So all these things I'm hearing, I don't even know about them. Meanwhile, on behalf of myself, Reverend Father Mbaka Ejike Camelus, the servant and the spiritual director of this adoration ministry, Enugu, Nigeria. I wish to apologize humbly to the former governor of Anambra State, Mr. Peter Obi, who came here on Sunday for Bazaar. In any way, shape, or form, my utterances and actions on that Bazaar induced, initiated, or prompted derogatory remarks, criticisms, unhealthy attack to his personality. I don't intend any of this. All I said on that day, I never meant to insult him, nor to bring his political career down. My intention is simply to support the work of God. If my actions exhibited this.
Anyway, let me not take too much time belaboring us. He apologized eventually, and again, I need us to really understand, this treasure we have in Peter Obi. Even while that exchange was going on, when Mbaka was trying to mess Obi up, Obi in that video told Mbaka, he said, "Show me a project I will donate towards. Show me a project I would donate to. This man does not believe in putting money in private hands. Let's not make mistakes. Obi is one of the richest men in Nigeria. I have come to find that out. This man is an industrious animal. He's thinkingly rich. But he donates to, every now and again, he donates to a purpose. His private money goes into a purpose. He's not a wasteful person. He doesn't believe in the idea of maybe we just dash our money. He told the pastor, say, man, show me a project I will donate towards. Which means that it's a man who does not believe in, this idea of, say, donate to God. He's probably a man who believes that what he does in his own private capacity to hospitals, to schools, in fact, those ones crystallize this more as donating to God than to just go and give some lump of money to a pastor in the name of donating to God, which they have used to hoodwink a lot of young people who go to church and all of that. Personally, there are certain aspects. I'm a Christian, okay, but there are certain things I don't do. The concept of tithing, before it became one big thing at the time in Nigeria and all over the world, I had taken my pastor on it to say I don't tithe. But way back in Spain, I don't believe in it. But come to church, let all of us come together in church and say, oh man, this church, we have some widows in this church, okay, they are unable to feed, let us have monthly donations to support them. I am in for that. Oh, in this church, we need some microphones. Our microphones are broken. Let us donate to replace them. I am in for that. Oh, our speakers are no longer okay. I am in for that. Something that, yes, we can see, practicality, manifest. But to just say, let me bring my 10% to say I am paying, I don't do it. I have never done it. I will never do it. I don't believe in it. It's a principle. And I think that, when I look at Peter Obi in this whole scenario, it's exactly what I see about this man. And this is why I'm going to show you this particular photo. One of so many. Peter Obi donated 100 million naira to Bishop Shanahan Hospital School of Nursing and Midwifery in Nsukka. This donation makes sense, for instance. Makes a lot of sense. I mean, we have seen this man donate computers to schools, donate monies to hospitals to buy equipment and all of that. That will benefit so many people. Now, I love human beings like this, who look at the greater good, not the private good. Now, this is where this whole matter started. I believe between then and now, Father Mbaka has not shown Peter Obi any project in church that he wants Peter Obi to donate towards, that Obi will consider. And now he believes that he has the popularity to make statements like he will never be president because he's too stingy. We are coming to that stingy aspect of it. More than not go. Please share this broadcast. It's probably your way of supporting this project. And if you cannot share, please share, because we're in a defining moment. Nigerians need to know the truth, because the shenanigans has been too much. And I might make bold to say that I am glad today, to be very honest, that the movement of Obi is a whole new awakening. As we speak, while Mbaka is right there, saying that he's laying, very pointless. Calm down, Lamte. Calm down. Now, while Mbaka is on the attack, we are seeing pastors, church leaders, encourage their members to go and get PVCs to be empowered in this election. We are seeing people waking up to their responsibilities, understanding that over the years, Christendom has failed and had been failing. And for once, Nigerians are seeing the impact of Christendom in an electoral process that will define the future of this country. Well, on the issue of Reverend Father Mbaka, before the advent of Buhari, I used to admire him, like, a dogged, what's it called, a church leader, a dogged father, one who's very bold, who speaks with fire, I later found out, I think the Buhari regime made me to find out that, okay, this guy is just one of them. Stomach infrastructure. This man is just a hustler on the pulpit. And that's what it shows to me. I may be wrong, but this is what I see of him. Now, a man who could do this, a man not once, not twice, who would be so sure. Now, as I speak right now, I am not telling you anybody that I am seeing a vision from God. You understand what I'm saying now? About what's it called, Peter Obi? No, that God said. No, I'm not saying that. When somebody tells me God said that he heard from God, to be honest, I tend to want to respect that a lot. But when that person becomes wrong, there is nothing the person will say in this lifetime that I will believe ever. I'm talking about Peter Obi right now. I am looking at evidences. I have investigated this man as a governor. I've looked at his own way of life, his simplicity, his honesty to a purpose, his hard-working nature. For me to stand like, I don't know him one-on-one from Adam. And so many Nigerians doing same, whether in writing or by sharing broadcasts like this or by being out there. It's not like they know him. Many have come to understand that, man, we can give this man a chance and give our future a chance. This is what Mbaka said about Buhari years back. Let's take a listen.
I cannot play God. Anyone he has not revealed to me, I won't say. Otherwise, it will not come true. But what I'm trying to...
If you want to say in any word that God does not, that God has not revealed to him, he will not say. Which means that God told him affirmatively. As a matter of fact, he dined with God to tell Nigerians that Buhari was a man. This man said so many heinous things about Goodluck Jonathan. He was one of those who cajoled so many Igbos to dislike Goodluck Jonathan, but to make a case for Buhari. And he was not speaking because of his own personal conviction. He was using the God conviction that God told him. Mona, listen at the verse.
What I tell you right now is, Buhari is a man of integrity. Buhari, in the spirit world, is a glory to Nigeria. Buhari, in the spirit world, is a blessing to this country. Buhari is a liberator for Nigeria.
I don't know whether you guys can make sense of it all, but when you take your mind back, as at the time this man was saying these things, a bag of rice in Nigeria was still selling between 7,000 to 8,000 naira. Today, I'm gonna go market and I'm gonna go check. The cost of living in Nigeria, as at the time this man was making this case, apparently many of us were like, okay, from the pulpit, from a man who sits with God and telling us that God told him it is Buhari, it probably means that before Buhari ends his tenure, a bag of rice will become 1,000 naira. It probably meant that our debt profile, which was about 12 trillion at the time, will probably become 1 trillion or 2 trillion. Our debt profile has risen above 50 trillion. Under the same Buhari. Corruption like we have never seen before. So was God lying? That's the question. It's either this man was lying and was speaking on the strength of the personal benefit he has gotten from the Buhari team, or God was lying. You be the judge. Not just one, oh, this guy was persistent in letting Nigerians know that God told him. God told him. Listen to this.
Removed, Nigeria will go. People of God prayed from here and there. God answered our prayers and gave us Muhammad Buhari. And I want to tell you today, God has told us that Buhari is a prayer answered. President Buhari is an answered prayer. Whether you hate him or whether you like him, Buhari is a prayer answered.
Okay. Some people, more than not verse 2 months, they open this thing. So the reason why I'm opening it is because, sometimes when in the law court, when a witness comes to the court to probably come and witness to a particular case and all of that, one of the things that lawyers do is to try to establish whether that witness is credible, whether that witness can be taken seriously. I consider all of us right now in the court, and the person on trial is Peter Obi. And Father Mbaka is a witness who has come to make a claim that Peter Obi is stingy, and therefore Peter Obi should not be president. And so therefore, what I'm trying to do right now is, because people are about to believe this and people are about to just throw it out. But what I've come to do is to try to look at Father Mbaka to see if this man is credible enough for us to take him seriously. And in looking at Father Mbaka, we don't need to look at his own political trajectory with his utterances, particularly using God to blackmail Nigerians. He spoke now to attack Peter Obi that he will not be president because he's stingy. He wants a generous person to become president. I mean, I don't have that video, but I've seen that previously. Having praised and lifted Buhari as somebody sent by God, I have equally seen this man come out to attack the same Buhari. Now, the question I ask myself is this man telling us that God is a confused God? Of course not. The person who lacks integrity, the person who is confused, is actually the man who makes all these utterances, speaks from all sides of his mouth. Now, if Father Mbaka had come out to tell Nigerians that Peter Obi cannot be trusted because he embezzled Anambra State funds, that Peter Obi did not develop Anambra schools, that Peter Obi did not, do all of those things that he talked about, then, and he's talking about these things with evidences and all of that, then some of us will sit down and listen and be very objective about this scenario. Honestly, I am honestly looking for a convincing proof to tell me that Peter Obi is not the man we think he is. I've not found one. And I've said, look, if you have, bring it on. Let us assess it on the basis of its merits. And I'm making share this broadcast very important. I am making this case because the Peter Obi movement, has aroused a lot of Nigerians. And I tell you, I told somebody a few days back, that on this trajectory, with the way the movement is going, by December, we should have felt authoritatively that the next president of Nigeria is Peter Gregory Obi. And we are not going to relent. So Father Mbaka would not make Peter Obi lose one person. Rather, I think that members of Father Mbaka's church and his own parish should prevail on him. He should come out and apologize profusely as quickly as possible for these utterances he made. I'm going to play that because this one is just the recent one he just made now, where he was making a claim. I didn't hear God is bad, but this one is only his own personal wish that Peter B cannot be president because he's too stingy. Let's listen.
A stingy man cannot be our president. We are all hungry. We need a generous person. Nigerians are hungry. Are we not hungry?
I don't know whether you guys can see the myopism here. He said Peter B is a stingy man. He cannot be our president. He will never be president. That we need a generous person because Nigerians are hungry. As a congregation, are we not hungry? As a matter of fact, as I have listened to this over and over again, the more I listen to it, the more debased, the more I see the absolute lack of integrity in this process by Mbaka. Lack of integrity. So I'm ashamed of myself. And I'm going to tell you why. Looking at where we are right now, of the truth, Nigerians are hungry. But is it the kind of solution to hunger that Father Mbaka is laying claim to? Father Mbaka is laying claim to a politician that come and put money in his own pocket, or probably share money around pocket of Nigerians. When we are looking for people to strengthen our institutions, build our infrastructures, provide stable electricity for Nigerians to thrive, create a conducive environment for Nigerians to thrive, this man is looking for who is going to put money in his own pocket.
Wahala.
Nigerians are hungry. Are we not hungry? We are all hungry. We need a generous person. Nigerians are hungry. Are we not hungry?
Wahala. Oh.
Nigerians, there's this passage in the Bible that sometimes I make reference to because the passage in itself speaks to me daily. It said the children of Issachar, they knew the time and they knew what Israel ought to do. Where we are right now is a defining moment. For once in our lives as a people, we are waking up to the reality of the time. We know the time now. We know what Nigeria ought to do. And that is why there's so much quest now for people to get their PVCs. Because this time, people understand it's a defining time for all of us. And if we get it wrong, the memory of the last 7 years is a dangerous one to embrace in the future. That is the time we are in right now. People are not interested in the bag of rice being packaged by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, or the bag of beans being packaged to be distributed by Bola Ahmed Tinubu and what's this Atiku Abubakar. People are not interested in that because that is what the history has been. That is what the status quo is. People want to depart from that and commit a future they can believe in. While pastors, preachers are engaging their followers, even Catholic churches, and show some of them to us here to get their PVCs. Why do you think there's so much craze for PVC? You think it's because of Atiku Abubakar, because of Bola Ahmed Tinubu? No. Young people in Nigeria are getting their PVCs because of Peter Gregory Obi. That is the only reason. That is pushing these people because they have seen somebody at least they can believe in. They say he's a Catholic. I may not understand the kind of Catholic way he be. Let's
morning, my dear brothers and sisters in Christ. As I told you last week, today, if you do not have your PVC with you, you will not attend Mass here today. It's as serious as that. When I said it, some of you took it for granted as if we are joking. And as you know, the federal government has given deadline that at the end of this month, the registration will stop. And we had already discussed this with the school management, that any student who does not have his or her PVC will automatically have carryover. Yes, and beginning from today, if you do not have your PVC, you cannot enter this chapel today and celebrate Mass with us. It's as serious as that. And for those of you coming from Jos Archdiocese, you must have known that it is said in Jos Archdiocese that if you do not have your PVC, you cannot receive communion. But here we know not everybody is a communicant. So what we'll do is, from today, if you are coming for Mass, carry your PVC. If you don't have your PVC, don't bother coming. Because there is no point having Christians fill the church. But during election, we have only a handful of them go out to vote. So it means our number, our population means nothing. So we want Christians to take their responsibility and their role seriously. So today I am serious about it. As I'm standing here, if you have your PVC, begin to come in. But if you don't have your PVC, find your way back home. You will not attend Mass here today. Is that clear? Yes. Those with your PVC, oh yeah, begin to come in.
That is practical Christianity. Christians begin to understand, like the children of Issachar did in the 10 past. Christians begin to understand the time that we are in. That is not an isolated case. That is from a parish priest. Okay? That has been replicated in very many different churches. And I can tell you that very soon, some mosques will start equally telling their members to ensure that they go and get their PVCs. It is the time we are in right now. Because Nigerians they cannot wait to get it right. They cannot wait to get it right. Now, what you are seeing with this new movement to give birth to a new Nigeria, it's as a matter of fact, it's the acknowledgement of the time that we are in, and the understanding that the last 7 years has been hellish for Nigerians in this country. People want to depart from this history that this young man, vehemently spoke against in this video that I'm going to show to you right now.
Here you people they see. Can you see what is happening in Nigeria? Beans is very expensive that we can't even afford to buy one. Even expensive than rice. Can you see? So you people kept these beans, saw it somewhere, and we are hungry. There's no food for us to chop. Now the campaign is coming. Now you people are bagging the beans for us to come and to feed us again so that we can vote for you people again. Is that proper? You people should think.
That is a culture. And so they are coming. In fact, right now they have amassed so much wealth. I understand that, a certain candidate under APC, we cannot independently verify that, spent over ₦1 trillion, chasing the ticket. Over ₦1 trillion in a country where people are hungry and they are bagging beans and rice and salt and everything right now. They will start sharing to buy everybody's, a conscience and all of that. But somehow we have woken up to this reality to say, man, this time must be different. It must be different. Peter Obi led PDP because he could not follow up with them on that. He knew that he was going to be embarrassed. And it was to the glory of God and the blessings of Nigerians that he finds himself in Labour Party. And today he is surging. And Mbaka just wants to see if he can use his own, whatever it is, to be a clog in this wheel of progress. And this is why we have to refute all his claims. Because everything he has done is in error. And as I say, an error left unrefuted leads to intellectual immorality. And that's why we are here, to make these things right, to say, man, look, we do not want such narratives anymore. Such very selfish rhetorics, we don't want it. I am sure that if Peter Obi had gone to his adoration, whatever ministry as it were, and given him some millions of naira, this man right now will be singing Peter Obi's praises all over. And to think that this man is even an Igbo man makes it even the most shameful as far as I'm concerned. I honestly think that this guy should come to his next service and should not find a member in the next parish what meeting is going to be having. It is enough to desert him. Even the Bible says, it said, by their fruit we shall know them. We shall know them. So I think that what Mbaka has done is a huge disservice to himself, to the Igbo race, and to the entire nation. And he should be prevailed upon by the authorities of his ministry to apologize to Nigerians, because the claim made by Mbaka against Peter Obi was not just a slight on the person of Peter Obi, was a slight on the 200 million Nigerians who are living in Nigeria today and suffering under the whims and caprices of this chariot we have in leadership. So, for me, it's the most unfortunate encounter, particularly looking at the kind of movement, like I said earlier, that this Peter Obi's movement has, enroused. I mean, even those who don't even know, have not even investigated Peter Obi that much. Okay? People are coming out to express willingness to understand that, man, this is the change that right now we require in this country. Nobody even put it better in recent days than this young lady. I'm going to play this video right now. She just probably just did it innocently. She's gone viral a bit. I just want to play it to rekindle our confidence, to understand that, yes, our young people are there. Everybody's involved. Let's watch this little girl and just be proud of what we are achieving together, all of us, now in this project.
Nigerians, have you heard? APC has given Tinubu tickets because they feel like he's possibly the only person that can match Atiku dollar for dollar in the next election. So they think it's a money thing. Obio, Peter Obi, we move. I don't know who is on this train with me, but it is Peter Obi. We must change Nigeria. Enough of the old shit. Tinubu, Atiku, same shit, different toilets. And we are done with that. So, Obi for the man them, Obi for the girl them. Oh, by the way, I'm not even an Igbo person. Let's get that out of the way first of all, before someone thinks that this is a tribalistic thing. I am not an Igbo person. I am a concerned Nigerian who is tired of eating the same shit. And you know what the rule of madness is, right? It's simple. When you keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result, you dey mad, you dey crazy, you're not alright. So let's change it this time, Nigerians. We're not mad. Let's change it. We can't vote Tinubu. We can't vote Atiku. Are we mad? This is stupid. So,
are we mad? Looking at where we are coming from. Anyway, the issue of Tinubu and Atiku is a matter for another day. We are looking at Mbaka right now. So, I mean, I remember those days when we were in secondary school, we used to have this debate, and by the time you are running off with your point, you just say, I hope I've been able to convince you with these few points of mine that, the position held currently by Father Mbaka is against the will of progress in Nigeria. Nigerians, Mbaka cannot be taken seriously. I know he's going to see this video because you are sharing. Please, let's keep sharing. And in my final claim of Father Mbaka, I hope that his own parish will call him to order. I hope that his own members will call him to order. And I want to see in the coming days, he's able to reflect on his misdemeanor and come out publicly to apologize to Nigerians, because he knows how to apologize after doing the wrongs. He should apologize this time. This time has to be different. And he should stay his lane and stay away from mouthing too much into political affairs, because as far as some of us are concerned, he has no integrity to tell us what God says. As a matter of fact, if God speaks to him, he should speak to him in his church and not to Nigerians. That's from Mbaka. I will talk about Sowore right now. But let me take a moment to drink some water.
Comrade Sowore, Comrade Lante Oriente. This is the Comrade Show.
Yes, welcome back, my people. I want to establish Sowore a bit. I'm really surprised. I don't know what is wrong with Sowore. I don't know, because honestly, it's one of those young people that many of us young people believe that he's a progressive mind, and though there are certain ways he tend to approach things that I don't quite agree with. It doesn't make me right, though. It's just I don't agree with some of his approach, particularly his own political disposition and the way he sees it and all of that. In recent days, I saw a video where Sowore was attacking Peter Obi, and I was trying to make some sense out of that video. I could not really make proper sense out of it. And so I wanted to see what is going to happen in a couple of days. But just listen to this video first. Then we'll come to it.
Said that the Labour Party had become an orphanage for politicians that are homeless. It didn't take long before our man ran there when he became homeless. The Labour Party should not have in its company somebody who managed 13 months of strike, worker strike in Anambra State. The reason Obi left PDP was because they outplayed him with transactional politicking. Where is the structure of Labour Party? You should ask yourself. In 2019, the Labour Party presidential candidate got 5,000 votes. I was allocated 33,000 votes. So even if you want to look at structures, the structure that delivered 33,000 votes is probably better and bigger than that of 5,000 votes. The Labour Party and the Peter Obi people should come and join us. We are the ones who know how to stand up for you. You said you were governor of Anambra State. When you were governor, did you build any schools, universities that your children could attend? If the question is no, why are you lying? Did you build any hospitals in that state that you can go for treatment if you fall sick? If it is no, why are you lying? Did you do any quality roads? If it's no, why are you lying? I am not here to do ethnic politics. I'm not here to do religious politics. I'm here for the liberation of the Nigerian people.
When I saw this video, the question I asked myself, if I had a phone number, if I have a Sowore's direct phone number, I would have rang him, to ask him what is it doing. Because people should be able to read the time that we are in and understand that there is certain inevitability in what is happening. Peter Obi has been out there, speaking about his contributions to governance in Anambra State. We have not only heard from him, we have heard from people like Ben Bruce, others that have projected Anambra and even as the federal government of Nigeria to copy what Anambra has done in education. Contributed immensely by Peter Obi. And for many of us, the accusation of saying, well, did you build new schools? Did you build this? Did you do that? It doesn't even really come up, because even the few ones we have, I don't know what government is doing with them. They are not putting them right. But we have seen a Peter Obi whose contribution to education in Anambra State is putting Anambra State first in WAEC levels across Nigeria since he left and all of that. So I didn't see the rationale behind Sowore coming out to come and make those claims. Then, because I don't think that the problem of Nigeria is Peter Obi at all. And I don't think that Sowore's problem should be Peter Obi. I actually thought that by now, someone like Sowore would be wise enough to try to pitch tents with Peter Obi. He was talking of the Labour Party presidential candidate previously getting 5,000, he's getting 33,000, and all of that. And it probably counts that as success. I don't know, I'm not trying to sound immodest, but I think that a person who's on ground, your family, your friends, family of your friends and friends of your family in a presidential election should be able to give you even more than 33,000. I mean, let's speak the facts. I don't think that a presidential candidate getting 33,000 in an election where we had over 26, nearly 30 million vote cast is something that we will beat our chest on. And that's one. So kind of is that the time we are in now is different. Peter Obi in Labour Party is not a man who's going to be thinking of 33,000. If Peter Obi is thinking of 33,000 votes, as what he's going to get in Labour, there is no use. We're talking of a man who's a top contender to be president. Right now, the most popular candidate on the ground. And I thought that Sowore would have been wise to find a way to pitch tent, probably collapse his own structure into that of Peter Obi right now, so that they can build a formidable alliance that can give this change to Nigeria where he will be relevant. I'm not going to bring Sowore down. I'm going to advise him as a young man, who is showing promises. You understand what I'm saying? I won't talk him down. Days later, some human being shared something alleging that Peter Obi was going for one AGM, one bank meeting in Egypt. And he posted that he was going to understudy the power sector in Egypt. So Sowore shared the post and equally, said some things on his wall and all of that. It's a busted. Peter Obi is attending the annual general meeting of Afrexim Bank in Cairo, Egypt, and not to understudy Egypt's education, power, and finance sector. The Afrexim Bank AGM is gathering the bank's stake shareholders to appraise her performance. PO should not lie to Nigerians. Meanwhile, Peter Obi had already earlier posted, I just departed for Egypt for a 3-day visit as part of my detailed study of comparative countries in Nigeria, to Nigeria. In Egypt, I'm expected to understudy, among others, the digital power sector, education, planning, and finance. So, Sowore joined the other team of detractors to call Peter Obi a liar. But my response to Sowore and those team of detractors is that this is Peter Obi currently in Egypt with a team of engineers, in the power sector of Egypt, understudying what he said he was going to understudy as part of his own, movement to Egypt. That's Peter Obi right now being taken through some of those processes and how it is working in Egypt. That's Peter Obi right in Egypt with the Egyptians, technicians, and engineers telling him and teaching him some of those things to expect. That is Peter Obi right now, okay? Affirming that the reason why he left Nigeria for Egypt, okay, is true. Not the claims being made by detractors that Sowore, appear to be pitching, tent weight and all of that. When Peter Obi announced that he was going to Egypt, it's equally possible that Peter Obi would attend the AGM, meeting of the whatever. It's possible. But the man did not say. He said he's visiting to Egypt, and as part of his 3-day visit, he would do this, and this. I see a leader who is not president, but who is already building himself, preparing ground to kick the ground running from day one. I see a leader who's trying to understand. Today, Egypt has the best power generation, in Africa. When Buhari was taking over, Egypt was around number 12. Today, Egypt is top. And it is not the first time that we are hearing that Peter Obi visits Egypt to look at how some things are working. Peter Obi has said that he had gone to look at how the seaport of Egypt, the arrangement around the Suez Canal, and all of those places, how those things work and make life easy for Egyptians. Peter Obi is a man that I have come to know personally as a man who's been up and about, understudying other nations of the world, understanding how things are working. So when I saw the announcement that Peter Obi was going to Egypt, it wasn't a surprise for me. And I don't think it's a wonderful thing. The man has a very strong alliance with this Egypt. He goes there often. He probably has a business interest in Egypt. I don't know about that. Probably. And in Africa today, this is what Sowore himself posted about Egypt before this whole whatever. This Sowore, he said it took Egypt less than 2.5 years to generate 14,000 megawatts at 500,000 per megawatt of power. This is Sowore's word that I took this from. He said it is the cheapest in the world. That Egypt's power generation is the cheapest in the world. Going off with the quote, he said, here we are. We can do it cheaper because we have plenty of cheap labor. I am not saying we are going to abuse labor. That's Peter Obi's, that's a Sowore statement on power generation and credit to Egypt. And yet the same Sowore right now, when he finds a convenience, is the one attacking a presidential candidate who has gone to the same Egypt that you praised earlier. To say, I will, as part of my visit to Egypt, I will understudy. Make I read the thing again. I bet I put them out. Make it not be media top of my head. He said, I just departed for Egypt on a 3-day visit as part of my detailed study of comparative countries to Nigeria. In Egypt, I'm expected to understudy, among others, and you go do other things. So, the Egyptian power sector, their education, planning and finance sector. And this young man, Jackson Ude, said, busted. Peter Obi is attending AGM meeting. The man said, amongst others, he may actually be attending AGM meeting, but he said, amongst other things, I will be visiting this. And he has given us proof. Look at Peter Obi with the Egyptians. Look at Peter Obi as part of the 3-day visit. And the man said that he's been understudying comparative countries to Nigeria. Peter Obi has been understudying China. He has been understudying Malaysia. He has been understudying, Singapore, Egypt, UK and America. He's spoken about all of this, even while he was not contesting for president. As a governor, he understudied these countries to dispense governance in Anambra State. As a presidential hopeful, he has continued on that trajectory. We are seeing a man, if he becomes president, or when he becomes president, will be a complete departure from what we have always had. A man you are not going to tell, Mr. President, this is how it works. We'll just do this. He has seen it himself. He knows it. He can verify it himself without having to send anybody anywhere. A man who is prepared and is preparing even more for the job. Oga Bros Sowore, I listened to an interview once where you were advised, and I thought it was a good advice, that why don't you start your ambition from the state, being a state governor or being a local government chairman, and rise through the ranks. You were angry on that interview. Why that you felt that was demeaning. Of the truth, apart from you being a student union leader in your days in school and establishing a Sahara report that many of us believe you are not running currently, with board of managers and all of that, Nigerians cannot really point to anything that this is what you have achieved. Some youth can identify with my brother Sowore to be, what is it called? An activist, agitating. But talking of building capacity, human development, and all of that in a wide spectrum, we can't really lay claim to anything. To put a nation in somebody's hand is not a Kambiakwa business. It's a big deal. Sometimes people want to refer to, okay, before they can take somebody serious. If Peter B's resume is just being a state union leader and having one online newspaper somewhere, I'm probably sure that he will not be selling this much. The man is selling this much because people can look back and look at his antecedents in capacity building, in development. So I don't think that anybody should be envious of this man, because this man has earned his position right now within the Nigerian populace. He's made huge contributions to human development, capacity building. He has prepared himself inside out. I mean, within the last 2 weeks, I think this man has left Nigeria about 3 times or so. Doing this. And there are some travels, I understand, he even travels that people don't even get to know. He will just go, fulfill that goal, come back. People don't even get to know. Meanwhile, you are sitting there. Let's not talk about, the kind of limitations we're even having right now with the government of Nigeria, with everything and every other thing, which I believe very much that the government has been very unfair to you. And all of that. And again, I think that, Sowore, I love you as a brother because of your dexterity. I really love you. But I think that you need to stoop to conquer, my brother. You need to humble yourself. You have a position right now where you can use what you have right now to build a formidable alliance with Peter Obi, and let's drive this change together. And you will learn along the process and be better prepared for the future. That Nigerians can see something about you and begin to take you seriously. Because if you stay where you are right now, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's practical. Presidency of Nigeria, now it's gonna be hard thing. I think you can use what you have to join another progressive, not to try to pull him down. Because even as you are trying to pull him down, you are losing support. Fast losing support. Because, like you yourself have mentioned severally, that no army can stop any idea which time has come. You must recognize that the glory of God is resting on the rock, which is Peter, currently. And the rock is going to also rock. Inevitably. It is no man's doing. It is a matter that is ordained, because we have been through thick and thin in this country. It took the Israelites several years to wallow under pains in the land of Egypt. And at a point in time, God gave them Moses and Aaron, and their liberation began. This is likened to that, my brother. And I think that when you see a wind of change blowing like this, what you should do is to use your tongue to count your teeth and see how you can be part of this wind of change, that your name will be remembered in history and posterity will judge you better. You are losing support. You are losing support. The movement of Peter Obi is one I think will benefit you if you stoop to conquer. And I think that's what you should do. Align with this man. You have a lot in common, but you must see him as an elder brother who has been there, who is better prepared than you, whom you can learn from and be relevant to this country, Nigeria. Otherwise, you will just stay activist for life and nothing will come out of it. You could be there and become a governor of your state. You could be there and become a minister under President Peter Obi. You could be there and be relevant to the process and not be talking from the side. People are tired. We want to see some things happen practically in this country. So, as much as possible, my brother Sowore, I'm just advising that we will all win together if we align ourselves properly. The pride of, you've been there, you've contested a couple of times as for president, you cannot just forget about it, my brother. Nigeria is not anybody's personal property. The people of Nigeria will decide who their leader will be. Whether you have contested 1 million times, it doesn't matter. Whether you created your own political party, 100 years ago, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The destiny of this country may actually still rest on a child that is not even yet born. And God granting us longevity, we will be allowed to see that child come and continue from where the obese of this world have stopped and take the Nigerian project, take it to the high heavens. So it's not a question of who first starts. It's a question of who's got that preparedness and who's got the anointing. And I see the two of them in Peter Gregory Obi. So, Sowore, my appeal to you, my brother, is to retrace your steps, find a way to align with this movement, be part of it, let the alliance be a strong one, an alliance of progressives, not the ones we had with APC. That was an alliance of thieves and rogues and corrupt souls. Align yourself with this movement and build capacity so that collectively we will all share some part of the glory of a movement. And that in the last days, when the presidency of Peter Obi is realized, we shall truly say, yes, the glory of God has come upon mankind. And the government of the people, by the people, and for the people is truly alive in Nigeria. Nigerians, God bless you, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Bye for now.
Comrade Sowore, Comrade Lante Oriente. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Comrade Show.
The Independent National Electoral Commission started a continuous voters registration exercise 11 months ago. And this particular registration is for those who have attained the age of 18 between the last time we did continuous voters registration exercise, which was 2018, and now. Secondly, it is for those who have never registered in any election whatsoever. Now, if you have registered before and you have lost your PVC, we require you to provide an affidavit to the effect that you have lost your PVC, and then we'll process a new PVC and give to you. If your PVC is defaced and is no longer readable, we can process a new one for you and give you a new PVC, and then you surrender the previous one that has been defaced. Not only that, if you are living in Lagos and you have been transferred to Kano or to Kaduna or to Osun or to Oyo or to Imo State, what you need to do is not to register afresh, but to transfer your registration to a new state, to a new local government, to a new registration area, and to a new polling unit. If you also want to correct information relating to your data that is already in our database, what you need to do is to correct that particular information and not to register afresh. But what people have been doing is that rather than going to go and correct this information, rather than going to report that they have lost their PVC, they go ahead to carry out a new registration. And then when we run the process on our ABIs, we find out that the person has done double registration. So what the commission has done is to cancel this fresh registration and leave the previous registration as valid, giving the individual the window to correct such an anomaly, despite the fact that it's a clear violation of the law. So that is the extent we have gone in relation to this. In relation to whether the PVC expires, the PVCs issued by the Independent National Electoral Commission do not expire. Previously, the chip relating to the data of registered voters was domiciled in the permanent voters card. But since we introduced the BVAS, the data relating to every individual registered in a particular polling unit is now domiciled in the PVC. So what we do on election day for purposes of accreditation is to look at the VIN number, the last 6 digits of the VIN number of the registrant, and we use it to call up the person's data. If that is not available, we use the QR code or we use the barcode to call up the person's data. If that is not available, we now use the person's surname to call up the person's data from the BVAS. So our permanent voters cards do not expire. They are valid for all times. The only thing is that if you have lost your own or if it is defaced, you need to go and get a new one. PVCs issued by the Independent National Electoral Commission do not expire because the data relating to each registered voter is domiciled in the BVAS.
Are you a business owner? Do you make your own products? This is your best opportunity ever. Register your brand now with the first and largest marketplace promoting Nigerian-made products. Get access to over 17 million shoppers and customers currently in need of your products. Download on Google Play Store now to register or visit ekioja.com. Focus on creating your passion. Leave the marketing to us.